Hello everyone, this is QTV2 and welcome to Storytime with Colton. Now, I've actually did told some of my stories many times about my past and all that, but nothing like this. Nothing literally like this. And not only that, I kind of like doing this a little bit much better because it's a little easy and all that instead of just, putting the camera, and doing basically doing what I usually do, just put the camera up and then you see me talking. And yeah, I kind of want to do this style better. But anyway, so to start with, for the very first episode, I kind of thought we could start with a bang. Yeah, with a bang. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys definitely know I was in Woodrow Wilson's. Okay, I was at Woodrow Wilson's. I actually had two experiences. My very first experience there was a 1 week thing, and that did not go so well because my knee was cramping. Like, it was like freaking hurting as hell. Like, oh my gosh. Like, you would not believe how pain I actually was. And it was for the first day, actually. I was there, and my knee started to cramp. Like, it sucked. It totally sucked. But gratefully for a while later, I basically got I basically it basically became a lot better and all that. My knee became a lot better. But anyway, my second experience there was way better. But I'm just gonna say that's not saying too much because there was a lot of crazy shit that I literally experienced there. Loads of crazy shit that I experienced that I told many of my friends, many, like some families, and just so many, like, oh my god, like you cannot believe how crazy this experience was. Like, you would not believe. So, I guess I could start with, of course, well, the beginning. The beginning of it is, well, this is not really, I could say, crazy at the beginning because the beginning was actually kind of a really good beginning and all that because nothing really much happened in the beginning. But anyway, so I actually got to my dorm and all that. It was a really neat dorm. It was really neat. And this was actually the beginning when they actually came back. They're coming back doing the whole roommate thing because basically for a while, because since COVID and all that, they could not basically, like, we only had to have a room alone. And yeah, so basically my first experience, I was alone in that room. And so this experience, since they actually were coming back doing the whole roommate thing, I was gonna have my very first roommates. My roommate, I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm just gonna call him Cat. Yes, Cat, because that's actually his user, Cat, his Discord user. And Cat, he was actually pretty cool. He was really, I mean, well, in the beginning, he was actually pretty cool. And he was really, like, he was actually nice. He was actually kind. And I actually do agree with him. He actually does look like the guy from the Polar Express. That kid that said, "Hey, you know what kind of train this is?" That guy. Oh my god! And he actually dressed as that guy from Halloween one time. Yeah, he dressed as him for Halloween. It was a Halloween, like, party in this gym, and he dressed as him. Yeah, and as for me, I didn't dress anything. I just basically just went to the party like normal and all that. But that's not really the point. That's not really the point. So so the point is so the first day was a tour. It was a tour day. Like, it was like, it was really, average tour because I've actually seen what the place looks like, so I'm kind of used to it. I was actually worried that my knee was gonna cramp again, but gratefully nothing happened. So I don't know what that whole cramping knee thing was about, But yeah, that I don't know what that was about, but that's gonna be the last time I'm ever gonna mention that because that was a painful experience I had. But anyway, so I met a few people. One of them, we're gonna call these two Lizzie and Penelope. Lizzie and Penelope are friends. These two are friends, and not just that, they are also roommates as well. They actually live in the same dorm, and they were definitely pretty cool at first. And they, like they were pretty cool. We basically talked. Uh, they gave us their Snapchats, and of course, we talked and all that. It was actually nice. The second day was actually nice. It was mostly the same thing. It was another damn tour for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, um, so after the class is over, we basically could do whatever we want and all that. So we basically all hanged out together, and it was actually really cool. It was actually really cool and nice. It was just an average meet up and all that. Like it was just like it kind of reminds me of my old days when I used to hang out with friends and all that. But it was good. But not only that, I was so glad to have a lot of friends because throughout since basically of late of 2021, I've basically been lonely and all that. And yeah, like it was just really cool to finally basically have new friends. But shit gets let's just say gets a lot worse. Well, shit gets basically goes crazy when the third day happened. Oh god, the third day. That is when shit was got insane. Okay? So, what happened was that I don't know how this happened. I can't really how I remember, but I do remember this is how Kat basically told me, okay? Basically, Kat basically came in. He actually told me that, get this, that Lizzie tried to have sex with him. Yeah, Lizzie tried to have sex with him. I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, that is like, what the fuck? Why would she do that? Like, it was just so weird. Like, it was just so goddamn weird. Like she just tried to have sex with him. Like, she was like trying to fucking rape him or something. I don't know, but it was just crazy. Okay, it was just crazy. Like, it was just crazy. I actually, like, my God. So I don't know what in the right minds I thought. I don't know what the fuck was basically in my mind was what's going into me, but I thought it'd be kind of cool, like like maybe we could calm ourselves down by taking a night walk. Yeah, taking a night walk. All right, like I mean, it was like just to calm things down. Like maybe things can basically, like maybe everything will be okay. But everything was definitely not okay because Lizzie basically saw us walking and she basically walked with us. And she was just talking and talking. And me and Cal, we were just fucking like afraid. Like we were just fucking like scared. Like we were like, holy shit. So we basically fast walk. We basically fast walk and she was gone. Like, okay, fine, let's go. That's awesome. That means we can go to our dorm, nice, nice and steady. Just pretend nothing happened, right? But that's not how things went, because when we literally saw our dorm, she came like right in, like basically right near the door, and just basically like just came out from the wall like she was fucking Michael Myers. Like seriously, like she Michael Myered that shit. It was creepy as fuck. Like it was creepy as fuck. Like oh my god, like you would have not believed. Like that was just so creepy as hell. And I me and Kat, we were freaked out. So we basically just came to our dorm, locked the door, and just, just basically calm ourselves down for what the fuck just happened. Okay? Like we were just calming ourselves down, and then we just slept through the night because we were just freaked the hell out. And then that basically was when that was basically the moment that I basically know that my experience wasn't gonna be just any experience, but just this weird ass experience. I mean, the learning shit, it was fine, but literally the rest of the shit, everything was just not fine at all. So yeah, after that, I actually found out that Lizzie and Penelope were having a falling out. And basically, Lizzie or Penelope, I don't know whose dorm it was. I think Lizzie left her dorm. I can't really remember, but anyway, Lizzie and Penelope had a falling out, and Lizzie told me that Penelope did something, like something fucked up and all that, like she's such an asshole and all that. And yeah, I was just like, okay. And then I remember I was just watching TV in the lobby one night. I believe it was the same day. I think it was the same day that Lizzie told me something about Penelope. And speaking about Penelope, when I was sitting basically in the lobby watching television, fucking Penelope showed up and literally just flat out yelled at me. And I was like, what the fuck? And then out of the fucking blue, and then I just basically told that what Lizzie told me, what she did, and Penelope just stormed off from the lobby, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then the next day, she basically came and sat next to like me, like sat with me and Kat for breakfast, and Penelope told me her point of view of that night with Lizzie and Kat. Basically, Lizzie tried to have sex with Kat, and Penelope, defended him, like, because that's fucked up, and that's breaking the rules, and Woodrow Wilson's. And yeah, like, it's just so fucked up. And on that same day, it was nights, I was like in the lobby watching television. Yeah, there's these lobbies. There was like these lobbies from like each side of the dorms that actually has these TVs and all that. It's actually pretty cool. And yeah, like they actually have this. They actually have this TV. I was watching it, and I remember Kat coming in and told me we need to go back to our dorm. And I was like, why? And he told me that for some reason him and Penelope were having a fight, and I was like, wait, what? Like they were arguing about something. I can't really remember what it was, but it was just some crazy shit and all that. But yeah, that's still to this day the one thing that I can't really remember. Even if I asked Penelope, I don't think she even could remember as well. So yeah. Yeah, crazy shit. Okay, so while we basically we could talk about more about Lizzie and Penelope, let's talk about other people that I had to deal with. Okay? So there is this one guy. In my class. His name is Nathan. Nathan, I can't really remember his last name, but anyway, Nathan, he was such an asshole. He was literally the biggest asshole in that class. Seriously, he just does not give a fuck about anything. And he is just like, he basically just says some basically mean shit to anyone. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I remember he basically said something to this girl in our class. I forgot what it was, but oh my god, that made the girl upset. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember there was this one time, like, I think he was, like, yelling at this one guy that in the same day that this dude, he actually yelled in the class to shut up because they were being too loud. That, by the way, yeah, my class could get noisy, and this one kid that yelled, like, he just doesn't like that kind of loud noises and bad behavior. So yeah, so I could totally relate to him. I do not like bad behavior as well. So anyways, like, he yelled at that kid or something. I can't really remember what he said, but it was just some ugly shit. It was just some weird ugly shit. And so I'm pretty sure you guys gonna be asking, did he ever pick on you, like myself? Yes, he has. In fact, the only nice thing he did was literally giving my keys, like keys to my dorm, because I lost it in this gym. In this gym we were actually at, we're doing like some kind of like special game and all that. But yeah, but I lost my keys there, and he actually found it, and I was like, oh, thank you. That was the only nice thing he did to me. The rest were absolutely just nonsense. Like I remember one time, like, this kid, I was doing the laundry, okay? Like, I was doing the laundry, I mean, basically minding my own business, and he basically came in, and he literally did the most asshole thing ever. He basically was just picking on me and all that shit, and then he just fucking, like, poured water on me. I was like, what the fuck? And I was so pissed. Like, I was just pulling middle fingers at him, and he was pulling middle fingers back, and it was just like, dude, like, I was just like, ugh, like, this guy is such an asshole. Like, he was such an asshole. Like, God, like, I wanted to punch him. I wanted to kick this dude's ass, but I couldn't, because I did not want to get expelled. So I did it. And yeah, like, this dude was such a total asshole. Like, he was such an asshole, and I just hated him so much. Like, I hated him so much. Like, I hated him, like, so much. Like, oh my God. And there was also another time, I think me and my buddy, Plush Gamer 05, we were doing a video, and we're gonna basically go back to Plush Gamer 05 in a little bit. But anyway, so basically me and him, we were doing a video, and then he basically came in just saying some random shit. I forgot what it said. It was like some mean shit and all that, but yeah, like it was just so weird. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it was just so weird. Like, yeah, Nathan is just such a dick, okay? He is such a damn dick. I just fucking hate him. Fucking hate him so much, and just, yeah, I just don't want to talk about him anymore. Like, just fuck him. Fuck Nathan. But anyway, so, other shit we had to deal with was, our neighbor. Yeah, our neighbor. Okay, like, here's the thing about Woodrow Wilson's. If you guys are going to be at Woodrow Wilson's, all right, here's one simple rule that you definitely need to follow, okay? I mean, there's a lot of rules out there, but one of the rules is literally keep the bathroom doors closed. Yeah, keep it closed, okay? Because, yeah, like, that is the one important rule ever, and, yeah, me and Kat, we basically broke that rule, because we basically let it open the whole entire time, like, throughout the days and all that. And apparently, for some reason, like, we were basically, like, me and Kat, we were just having fun, we were just joking around and shit. And then fucking, basically our neighbor, I'm guessing he basically doesn't like us being loud. That, by the way, we were being loud, by the way. And he came in, fucking barged right in to our fucking dorm, and just yelling at us. And he said some weird, crazy, random shit. Like say, like, one of them is, I don't give a fuck, respect the elders. And this other time, and this other thing he said, get this. Kat asked him, how old is he? Do you know what he said? He said get this. He said this. This is what our neighbor said. He said, I'm 35. I was 40 the other day. It's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like that's like some weird time shit. What the fuck? Oh my god. And I had it on audio record. I have it audio recorded. And for some fucking reason, I actually put it in my Mighty Wolfin channel. Yeah, that one channel that I don't use anymore because I lost the Gmail account. And not just that, the channel was shit because it was literally, I was literally trying to make an ARG channel, but I failed miserably because I made it turn into just some generic vlog series with some supernatural shit going on. But yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad. I don't know why did I post it on that, but anyway, so yeah, I recorded that shit. And I basically show it to the staff and all that, like let them listen to it. And they actually called in the guy. And he, of course, was literally was so pissed. Like seriously, he was just saying some crazy shit like, they were being loud as fuck. Yes, it's really true, we were being loud, but still barging right through our goddamn door and threatening us with shit. That is just like the most dumbest shit that you basically has ever done. Like, what the actual fuck? Okay, so we literally settled out. We basically had a talk and all that, and we basically just, we basically learned to keep the bathroom door closed and all that, and everything, everything is good, right? Everything is good, right? Like, we go our separate ways, right? No, not at all. Because this right here is when things get weirder as ever, okay? So Mr. Neighbor. So we basically sometimes can hear him, okay? We sometimes can hear him. And like I said, we had the bathroom door closed, okay? Like we are following that rule, okay? We're not gonna have that shit again, right? So we literally could hear him talk, but the way he was talking was so weird, just so sexual and all that. And he was talking to someone on the phone, right? Like he was talking to someone on the phone. He was just saying some weird shit to this girl. And do you know what? That girl, she sounded like she was 15. And I believe it was 15. I believe she really was 15 years old. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember telling the staff about this, and they said, get this, they said, if this happens again, let us know by hitting the emergency button. Because Woodrow Wilson's dorms have these emergency buttons that we can press if we have an emergency. And they'll let the staff know, the whole staff, and we were basically waiting for that moment to maybe hopefully it will happen again, because this dude is technically a pedophile. This dude is literally a fucking pedophile, basically. We have a pedophile in our goddamn dorm, in our fucking Woodrow Wilsons and all that. And I did the dumbest mistake ever in my life, okay? I literally, instead of staying in my dorm the whole time, I basically left and went to the lobby to watch TV. And I went back to my dorm, and Kat says he was saying some weird shit. And the reason why, okay, this is kind of a controversial thing, but we did not press the button. The reason is because simply I wasn't there. He didn't Kat did not press the button. He did not press the button in that time. So basically, and we didn't really hear anything else with it. So basically, we had nothing. We have no evidence. We have no nothing. So we just left. So we basically just left it alone and just pretend that it was just a normal night. And which, by the way, that was actually the last full day. That was actually the last night that I stayed in Woodrow Wilson's, because the next day was my graduation. Yeah. That was just, that right there. I still basically regret till this very day that I did not press that button. If I literally pressed that button, I'm pretty sure I would have basically saved the day because that guy is literally a pedophile. We literally have a pedophile in Woodrow Wilson's, and I don't know if he's still there, but I don't know. I can't really. I actually do remember what he looks like, but I don't have pictures of him, so I can't really tell. But yeah, but this dude, he was weird. He was really weird, and I still regret till this day. Till this day. So yeah, that was our neighbor. Now, let's go back to Lizzie. So, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me, but for some reason I still hanged out with Lizzie. I don't know why. I don't know why, actually. I guess maybe it's because maybe there's some big misunderstanding or something, like some big stupid misunderstanding with something what's going on. So I thought maybe, maybe it wasn't really like that. Maybe it was something else. But I should have stayed away from her because I basically hanged out with her for a while. Like, I remember basically hanging out with her in her dorm with her friends. And then I remember, I believe it was the same day, we basically went to Walmart. And I literally gotten, matter of fact, that was actually the day when I got the Five Nights at Freddy's on the Nintendo Switch. And that was actually kind of a crazy experience as well because literally, we basically had to wait a long ass time for the bus to show up, and we had to stop in a bunches of stops, like at a bunches of bus stops, for another bus to show up. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just crazy. Like, it was just fucking nuts. Like, oh my god, like, it was raining. That was another thing. It was fucking raining outside, and yeah, like it basically, like, it totally sucked. It totally sucked. But yeah, that was actually a crazy Walmart experience I have on the bus. But yeah, but anyway, but that was basically kind of what's actually fun because it was definitely a lot of fun and all that. And not just that, matter of fact, Lizzie told me to not tell about this to anyone ever again. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even that bad. I mean, we've all had bus incidents like that. Like, come on. So, I believe the only one I told were some of my family and Kat, of course, and Kat. But yeah, and then in the rest of the night, me and Kat, we basically played Five Nights at Freddy's and we screamed like little girls. Yeah. God, that game is so scary. But anyway, so one other day I remember with Lizzie, and this is something that Kat literally said, okay? Okay, so basically, Lizzie announced that she has a boyfriend, and Kat basically asked her that who's his boyfriend, and Lizzie literally like, literally was angry at him for some reason because he asked her. It's like, what the fuck? It's like you literally got mad because Kat asked you a question who the boyfriend is. It's like, come on, like, seriously, like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, and then like she was just saying some weird shit as well. Especially when she said this. This is flat out what she actually said, okay? I don't have the screenshots, but I will tell you what she said, okay? She flat out said that I don't have a boyfriend anymore. Come into my dorm. That right there is a red flag. I was so, like, seriously, that right there sounds like a let up to, to an orgy or something, like a group sex or something like that. I don't know, but that right there was just weird. Like, that was just so weird. All right. Okay, that was a weird moment. Now it's time for the biggest story ever. Like, this next part of the story I'm going to tell you, okay? It's something that it's evolved with Lizzie, and it's something that is just flat out crazy. Okay, so Cat, he hangs out with these girls. Now I do not know what these girls are because I never know what they look like. But I know one of them must have been this one girl that was wearing camouflage, because I remember him talking to this girl, and I was like, okay. And I thought maybe that's definitely her, and I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that was one of the girls. But anyway, um, but anyway, I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried about this because I worried these girls are gonna do something bad to him, which I think what I remember did not happen for a while until something crazy happened. I was basically in my room, minding my own business. Like it was basically Saturday. Like I was actually in my home, for a while until I returned to Woodrow Wilson on Sunday, and then I got a call from Kat, and he told me that these girls were basically hanging out with this one guy, and he was picking on them, like with this knife they have, this knife that he had, and I believe it was like a pumpkin knife. What I remember in the report, but yeah, like it was just crazy. I was like, what the fuck? And he was like chasing around with the girls and all that. Like it was crazy. And I was like, what the fuck? So I literally came back the next day on Sunday, and instead of me basically going to the staff and tell about it, I basically want to go and basically find these girls myself. So I basically asked two of my friends. This one guy, I forgot his name. He said he has nothing. He doesn't know what these girls are. And then I asked Lizzie. Now Lizzie, I actually text him on TikTok. Okay, I text him on TikTok, and she basically flat out told the staff and then told the police about my text what happened, because I told her what actually happened, and the staff literally called me a cat to the staff and all that. So yeah, I basically made a stupid dumb mistake. Look, if you like, I understand what I was trying to do, but do not basically be like me. If a situation, if you're basically dealt with a situation like that, don't do that. Just fucking go to the staff or tell the police. That's it. That's basically what you should do. But for me, I basically did the dumbassery, but basically doing that. Literally try to find these girls myself and all that. Like, just don't do that, okay? Just don't do that, okay? Do not be a fucking detective, okay? All right, let the cops do it, okay? Like, just let them do their shit. But anyway, so basically, me and Kat, we basically told about the whole thing. And Kat, I thought the cops are not gonna get anywhere with this. And then he explained that he actually had a hat on. And I was like, and they were basically like, okay, that explains. Okay, that's actually a good description and all that. And for some reason, this is the weirdest moment ever. One thing, the cops told me to not do that shit again, and I was like, okay. And as for Kat, for some reason, something this is still bothers me till this very day, and that's for some reason the cops told like stay out of trouble or something. Like this is like the second time we have to talk to you, and I was like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? And for some reason they had to talk. For some reason in the situation I told you earlier about him and Penelope, that arguing I told you about. And yeah, for some reason, something to do with that, but I never basically understood the full story how that happened. I even asked Penelope one time how the whole thing happened, and she could not remember. She could not remember actually how that happened. So yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. But anyway, they found the guy. Like I said, he had a pocket knife. And you think everything will be over, right? No, it got even worse. For some reason, someone basically said that someone's telling a rumor that me and Kat are snitches because we literally told the cops about the whole thing with the girls, and we didn't even know who the snitcher, like this dude is, this dude that told the rumor and all that. And for some reason, get this, for some reason, Lizzie thinks that it was actually fucking Penelope. Yeah, she thought it was Penelope. Seriously, she said that it's gotta be Penelope and all that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I actually wanted to talk to Penelope, but I was kind of scared. And that wasn't until after class and all that. That wasn't until after, the whole, my experience, was over. I literally asked Penelope what the fuck was that? Like, did you really do it? And she said she did. She did not do it. Yeah. Basically what I'm saying is, Lizzie literally fake. Because, by the way, if this was a rumor, everyone would have been talking about it, but no one basically really mentioned anything talking about it. But, yeah. But anyway, basically Lizzie flat out lied to me about this damn rumor. To basically, I'm pretty sure, to make me not be friends with Penelope anymore. I really felt so bad for Penelope. I blocked Lizzie after that. And there was this one time I actually tried to give Lizzie, another try to being friends, but that's a whole nother story I could tell you about in the future. But yeah, it was just flat out crazy. Like, that was just, oh my gosh, like that right there is just, like, Lizzie is just the worst. Lizzie is just the fucking worst. Like, seriously. It wasn't even worse. Lizzie was actually in one of my videos. She was actually she was in the last video I made in the Mighty Wolfen channel. No joke. I actually did. Like, she was literally in there. We were at the fall festival, I believe. Yeah, we were in the fall festival. Good time there. I actually had a very good time there. I really had a very, very good time there. Good time. Loved that day. That was awesome. But anyway, so that's really, really the end of Lizzie, the whole Lizzie Penelope thing. And I'll definitely trust me, there will be more of that shit coming soon, okay? So anyway, I actually thought maybe, you know what, how about we end this whole thing with positive? Because there's a lot of positives that I could say about Woodrow Wilson's, okay? And that's literally a lot of things. One, the learning. The other was the staff. They were really amazing. Matter of fact, one teacher we had, I felt so bad for her because the students were like so loud and shit. I literally gave her a card to make her feel better and all that. And Kat saw me. I was making the card, and he literally wrote his name on the card as well to help me out. It was good. We gave her the card, and I'm pretty sure that made her day. But yeah, so yeah, that was basically one positive I would definitely say about it. The staff and the teachers were great, but also this was also the place where I met a very good friend named PlushGamer05. PlushGamer05 and we basically became friends there. Like, he was scared. I remember he was scared going to Woodrow Wilson's, but he was fine after that. I remember him basically playing a bunch of Friday Night Funk, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But then, of course, the day happened when we had a substitute, and he got this book bag, and in it were these 3 puppets. One of them was a Donald Duck puppet, that famous Donald Duck puppet you could buy online. But the others were these puppets that he handmade himself. Well, actually, him and another friend of his. These guys, they actually did them themselves, and I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. It was like a rattlesnake named Jake. No, not Jake, Steven the rattlesnake. And this Bigfoot puppet named, Bigfoot. Like, they literally flat out made the Bigfoot puppet, and it looked so much like Oscar the Grouch from the from Sesame Street. Like I was like, oh my god, like it looked so good, like it looked so good. So we made a few like shorts, and then we made a full video of Blue going toe to toe with Bigfoot, and it was awesome. And that basically was the beginning of the Plushverse, and we basically been making videos together ever since. Like he is such a good friend. He's really like he's literally one of my favorite people to hang out with, and I really hope someday we'll definitely meet in person someday. Like he is just a really cool dude. The last time we ever we ever hanged out in person was actually back at Woodrow Wilson in 2024 when we filmed the second Blue and Friends movie, which is by way one of my favorite movies I've ever done. Like seriously, it's one of my favorite movies I've ever done. And we're actually going to do a third one very soon, but he's practicing driving interstates and all that. But yeah, but I promise you the movie will be done, and the Twilight movie will be done as well, okay? But yeah. So yeah, I basically ended it with a positive note. Woodrow Wilson's, it's not a bad place to go. Woodrow Wilson's is a really good place to learn and all that, you know, a good place to learn how, you know, with job skills and all that. And yeah, but you gotta understand, Woodrow Wilson is basically like a college. And when there's a college, you know, there could be crazy shit that happens. Drama, weird shit, and just everything. Woodrow Wilson's is the place that I'll finally remember, basically as for not only for crazy experiences, but also some good times being there. Because there was a lot of good times being there, and that ending I told you with Plush Gamer 05 was one of them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this story. I'll definitely do more stories very soon. This is Colton signing out.